Tensions have resurfaced in the Gulf after the U.S. President Donald Trump accused Iran of violating a recently brokered ceasefire following a reported drone attack in the Strait of Hormuz. In a sharp statement, Trump has claimed that Iranian drones targeted multiple vessels, with one striking a cargo ship before being intercepted by the U.S. forces. Calling this incident a foolish violation of the agreement, he warned against further escalation, even as questions remain over the fragile truce between the two sides. In fact, we're breaking updates now coming in of the U.S. Central Command forces conducting strikes against Iran. So U.S. says that this is the response after Iran violated the ceasefire. So a response to the attack on a commercial ship that was transiting the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. aircraft struck Iranian missiles and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites after Iran active vessel. It's a Singapore-flagged cargo ship that was exiting the Strait of Hormuz that was attacked by Iran. So U.S. claims that the retaliation has come in response to Iran violating the ceasefire. On the other hand, what Iran has claimed is that it is the United States that has violated the ceasefire. This, even as an understanding has been reached between Lebanon as well as Israel. So on one hand, these talks were going on of a deal between Israel as well as Lebanon. It's a U.S. brokered direct talk that took place between the two nations. But even as these talks were going on, we see a face-off in Strait of Hormuz. In fact, the United States has targeted Iran now, accusing Iran of violating the ceasefire. So Iran has also responded, and it has gone on to say that it is the United States that has acted in a reckless manner. Now, what Iran says is that it's not us, it is the United States that has violated the ceasefire. Now, the bigger questions still remain. What does it mean for peace in the region? Does it mean that vessels can now go through Strait of Hormuz, or will this threat continue? Because remember, the two countries reached an understanding after which this attack has taken place. Senior consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary joins us on the broadcast. And Srinjoy, what does this mean? What could happen next? Because both sides are accusing the other of violating the ceasefire. But does this bring into question yet again on whether vessels can move through Strait of Hormuz?
You're already aware that peace talks are going on just now. And at this point, it must be said that these peace talks should not be interrupted. And who are the people involved in these peace talks? No big names, no one making huge statements, just people who are experts. Experts who have got together, formed committees, and are deciding on what should be done in various areas. Whether it's Lebanon, whether it's the Strait of Hormuz, whether it's the return of money, whether it's sanctions, whether it's nuclear issues, all of them. Now, these are people who are sort of quietly doing their job. The question is, will this affect these committees and their work? And more important, will these attacks, these recent spurts of violence, will they hurt the people concerned? And will their bosses, which means Donald Trump, which means the Iranian leadership, which means the Israeli leadership, which means the Hezbollah, will they turn up the heat and say, this can be done, this can't be done, etc., etc.? The more below the radar things are at this point, regardless of these attacks, the easier it will be for a final peace, if you can call it that.
Okay, all right. Stay with us. We have a strong reaction also coming in from Iran after the head of national security, Ibrahim Azizi, has accused the United States of breaking a ceasefire and striking Iranian targets amid the ongoing negotiations. He claimed that the U.S. violated diplomatic principles and warned that such action actions would backfire. So even as the negotiations were going on, Srinjoy, we also heard similar threats from the United States that if Iran misbehaves, then the US is going to strike. And now that a deal has been reached, there has been a violation, whether it's from the US side or whether it's from the Irani side. That is not known yet because both the sides claim the same. But this violation also comes at a time when the United States also welcomed the agreement signed between Israel as well as Lebanon.
That's exactly the point I'm making. Now, all of this is only causing more concern because who fired the first shot? Now, everyone will say it's the other guy. The Iranians will say, no, no, we are innocent. We are fighting. We have picked up a weapon only because the Americans have. And the Americans will say roughly the same thing, that the Iranians are responsible for breaking the ceasefire. Similarly, between Israel and the Hezbollah. Now, if there is a sort of ceasefire in Lebanon and the Iranian-backed Hezbollah and Israel have at least stopped firing at each other, then it will actually have positive implications for the Iran situation.
Okay, all right. In fact, in response to the U.S. aggression, the RGC Navy has also targeted several positions of the U.S. military in the region. So a clear indication that we're looking at an escalation here. Iran has said that Strait of Hormuz will not return to what it was before the U.S. attack on Iran. Any transit through the strait must follow the routes announced by Iran. Otherwise, the security of vessels cannot be guaranteed. That's a statement coming in from Iran after this escalation that we are seeing currently. Srinjoy, does it mean that now both the countries will be back to negotiations? Are we going to see an escalation in the region? I mean, it's going to be hard to tell, but this is a clear indication that things are not going to be as smooth as possible, which was the biggest worry, that despite the best efforts of the United States, the situation is not going to go back to the pre-war era.
Thing is that we should hope that these negotiations continue. As far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned, India, most countries of the world would hope that the strait would remain open, because Iran has admitted, and even the world knows, that before the war began, that was an open area. You could go in and out as easily as you could. Before the war, about 120 ships crossed the Strait of Hormuz every day. Today, it is probably less than 5, or at least when the war began on the 28th of February and after, it came down to less than 10 a day. Now, this has caused enormous strain on the world's energy resources. This has hurt countries grievously, whether it's Japan or South Korea, to an extent China. China got lucky because it has huge reserves of crude oil, and also India. So as a result, this has hurt the world's energy market. This has hurt many, many countries, mostly the world's importers. It has hurt the world's exporters of energy, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, the UAE, Qatar, and so on. Now, if there is a blockage of the Strait of Hormuz, and if the Americans again block or lay siege to the Iranian ports, we are back to square one. Now, let's hope the Strait of Hormuz stays open. Let's hope that Iranian ports doesn't happen.
Okay, all right. Srinjoy, stay with us. Let's put our focus on the diplomatic breakthrough, meanwhile, that has emerged in the Middle East, as Israel and Lebanon have signed the U.S. brokered framework agreement in Washington. Now, this is aimed at laying the foundation for lasting peace and security. While that may have come under question, looking at the recent developments, currently the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, as he signed this understanding, said this was the first step in the negotiations, while both the governments have pledged to work toward peaceful relations. This deal comes amid the continued clashes that we are seeing between Israeli forces and Hezbollah as well. Listen in.
All the team that you see assembled here today, including the support we got from the Department of War in these conversations. Our ambassador to Lebanon has done a great job, and we're so honored he's here with us today. And our team here, led by Dan Holler, our counselor, our team here at the State Department, did a phenomenal job. If people want to see the value of professional diplomatic work and of diplomacy, that's what the team here has put together, and I'm very proud of what we've done here at this department in bringing this about. As I said, today is the first step. This first step sometimes is the hardest one, but it's an important one and the one we've taken together. And we're very grateful that this has come about and that the timing is such that all of you could cover it and report it back. And hopefully we'll have many more of these conversations and make real and tangible progress so that the people of both of these countries can be hopeful about their future, a future of peace, a future of prosperity, a future of mutual coexistence in a way that's beneficial to the men and women and children, including those not yet born, who deserve what all people deserve, and that is the right to live in their country without fear of harm, without fear of war, without fear of conflict. And that's what we hope to be able to facilitate and achieve. And today we've taken the first step in what will be a difficult journey, without a doubt, but an important and an essential and a necessary one. And we're very proud to be a part of it.
And the Israeli Prime Minister has welcomed the signing of the U.S. brokered framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon, calling it a big step forward after lengthy negotiations, while both sides describe the deal as a pathway towards lasting peace and enhanced security. But Srinjoy, while the understanding between Israel and Lebanon is welcome, what happens considering Hezbollah remains outside the agreement?
That's just the point. First of all, every little thing is good. And this promises to be a big move. Now, if this works, it's very helpful. The problem here, as you rightly said, is the Hezbollah. Now, the Hezbollah doesn't listen to the Lebanon government. It listens to the Iran government. And not even the Iran government, probably the IRGC. Now, if the Hezbollah is out of it, if the Hezbollah says, we don't care about what Israel has said to Lebanon and what Lebanon has said to Israel, we will continue to do what we will do, which in reality is targeting with its rockets, with its missiles, with its other weapons, drones primarily, all their targets in northern Israel. Now, if that is so, then that is going to be a challenge even to this agreement. Because once the Hezbollah, which used to be, if nothing else, the largest private military in the world, if the Hezbollah attacks Israel and Israel's northern districts, northern areas, including residential areas, then Israel will hit back. And Israel will hit southern Lebanon, and when the Hezbollah leaders move northwards towards Beirut, Israel will hit Beirut. Now that is the problem. Regardless of all these framework agreements, one can only hope that there will be no fighting.
Yes.
The Hezbollah and the Israeli armed forces do not attack each other.
Yes, absolutely. Srinjoy, thank you for joining us with all those details. With that, it's time for us to slip into a very short break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with lots more on the other side.